fast that quickly.
Marcus Mariota, Green, blur to the end zone.
The dream continues.
Kickoff from Arlington is coming up. And now, a look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
Moments of high anxiety. It's the Nissan pregame rush. The champions of the Big Ten, 13-1 Ohio State. A very short walk from their locker room around the corner to their tunnel. The Ducks walk about 8 times as long. Players say they reflect on what's gotten them here. The guys alongside, but very soon they'll come into this cauldron of noise. For the Ducks, it'll feel like a road game. Lots of scarlet and gray inside AT&T Stadium. Ohio State technically the road team, wearing their home uniforms with a twist. A tribute to the '68 championship team. And here come the Oregon Ducks. Always fast and fashionable. White top, silver pants, and camo tights. Their fans are known as being loud per capita in Autzen Stadium. But get ready for the roar as the Buckeyes come in here. Perhaps 70% of this place, Ohio State fans. The first of its kind, and no other big event really feels quite like this. A far less corporate crowd, Kirk, than we usually see. This is college football passionate fans in here tonight.
You can feel a buzz in the air. You know something special is about to occur.
Well, this has been the Nissan pregame rush. Coin toss coming up soon, but now we'll go to public address announcer John Magrino for the presentation of the colors and for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of our nation's colors by the 301st Fighter Wing Joint Service Honor Guard from the Fort Worth Naval Air Station. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our national anthem, performed by 7-time Grammy Award-winning multi-platinum recording artist, Lady Antebellum.
Oh, see, can you see above the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, those bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly seen, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field and welcome the 2015 College Football Hall of Fame class. Brian Bosworth, Bob Brunig, Tom Gatewood, Bill Snyder, and Jim Tressel. Congratulations to the class of 2015. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield for the national championship game coin toss with tonight's referee, Greg Burks, honorary captains Mike Bellotti and Orlando Pace, Oregon Duck captains number 7, Keenan Lowe, number 8, Marcus Mariota, number 55, Heronis Grasu, and number 91, Tony Washington. Ohio State captains number 5, Jeff Hireman, number 12, Duron Grant, number 14, Curtis Grant, number 53, Michael Bennett, and inductees of the 2015 National Football Foundation College Hall of Fame.
Gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural CFP National Championship game. My name's Greg Burks. I'm your referee this evening. This is Scott Campbell, your umpire. Guys, here's the coin. This side is heads, has the CFP logo. This side is tails, it's the stadium and the year. By virtue of higher seed, Oregon, you'll make the call. Your call, please. He calls heads. It is heads. Oregon wins the toss. They want to receive. Which way are we going to kick it? Okay, let's flip around. Oregon won the toss. They will receive. Shake hands. Have a great game, guys.
These two head coaches are native sons of their states. Mark Helfrich from the little town of Coos Bay, also the hometown of running great Steve Prefontaine. Urban Meyer grew up in Ashtabula, Northeast Ohio. Of course, he has the more accomplished resume, 141 wins, the 2 national titles, including Florida over Ohio State. Helfrich was an assistant when the Ducks lost to Auburn in the championship game. And with Mark Helfrich is Heather Cox.
Thanks so much, Coach. You talked to your team quite a bit about not playing tight. Easier said than done. What is the key to not letting this moment be too big?
Yeah, talk about it, and confront it. And we just talk all the time about our process and the next step. And there's a bunch of stuff going on, but just focusing on what really matters is the key.
Your key wide receivers, Devin Allen and Darren Hallington, aren't available. How do you compensate for that loss tonight?
Our team, our team. We're not an offensive, defensive, special teams unit. We're a team, and there's a bunch of guys that can make plays. Now we have to, deal with the guys in scarlet and gray.
Coach, thank you. Enjoy it. Let's head over to Tom.
Heather, thank you, Urban. After the chase and the commitment and the preparation, you're finally here with your team. Why will you win?
I'm worried about kickoff right now. I got a great group of kids. I love them to death against a great team. college football at its highest level right now.
Good luck to you today.
Thanks, man. Let's go.
He says it with a smile, Kirk, with the typical Urban Meyer intensity. And he's been working with, along with Tom Herman, Cardale Jones, to get his head in the right place for this championship game.
Such a big part of the game is how Cardale will perform under this pressure. He performed so well against Alabama, and his best friend Ezekiel Elliott, Joey Bosa, the defensive line from Ohio State, also will be challenged, obviously, in a way that they've not seen all year. They've got to be able to deal with that tempo, and they're going to get a look at it right away.
Ducks always get the ball first because they take it when they win the toss, and the opponent typically defers. So we'll see Marcus Mariota against Bosa and company momentarily. Kyle Clemson, the fifth-year senior from Dublin, to kick it off and begin this first championship game of the playoff era. True freshman Charles Nelson, the lone deep man for the Ducks at his goal line.
Okay, we've got 2 Alabama picks. What do you have, Coach?
Let me tell you, I've had the worst year ever in trying to pick games. I'm 6-11 in the head year. I picked against Clemson twice this year and lost both times. But listen to this. I picked against Alabama 3 national title games and lost all 3. I'm 0-5, so it makes sense. Common sense tells me I got to go with the Tide. Of course. 7-point favorites.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
I don't do well with common sense. Hand me no Tiger here.
Oh! Lee Corso going with the Tigers, much to the delight of the orange and purple clad fans, an overwhelming majority, particularly behind our set location, enjoying Coach Corso despite the season record, going with Clemson. And there's the royal wave too.
Look at the eyes on that thing.
There's so much at stake for both of these programs. Clemson can validate its run of double-digit season wins with the championship. Alabama can win its 4th title in 7 years, claim its 16th, 11th in the poll era, and a 5th for Nick Saban. Closing in on kickoff between Alabama and Clemson. Let's go to our public address announcer tonight, John Magrino.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to perform America the Beautiful, accompanied by members of the Phoenix Children's Chorus, please welcome Mercury Records Nashville recording artist, Kanan Smith.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of light, for purple mountain majesty, of the fruit and plant, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea, sea to shining sea, oh America.
The Nissan pregame rush from Glendale is coming up next, but first, a look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
It is almost time. Even all this advanced technology cannot recreate the feeling of impending ferocity and desperate energy. The tunnel smells like adrenaline and sweat. Waiting corrodes everything it touches. The past few hours passing like the lifetime that led them here. The crowd outside roars in their ears like a jet engine. Their pulses racing, vibrating cylinders, throttles unspooling. Nothing matters right now but ending the wait.
All I know is we go into the natty. How about them Tigers, baby?
New? This ain't new. This is cosmically old. The basest human instincts colliding. Pain and love and fear and desire. Can you feel it? The noise is coming down, cleared for takeoff. A wall of sound waiting for the first chord. The building is revving, lurching, wild and limitless. It is time.
The youthful Tigers. Only a small group of seniors in this bunch, Kirk. The only team to clear every hurdle this year, and Dabo Swinney has filled them with belief. They don't fear Alabama tonight.
They really don't, and I think it's because of recent success over some powerhouse programs from the SEC. Teams like LSU, Auburn a couple times, Georgia. They've beaten Ohio State recently, Notre Dame this year, Oklahoma a couple times. This team will not be intimidated when they walk out on this field.
17 straight wins and one hurdle away from history. 15-0. Think about that. Hasn't been done since the late 1800s.
It's an excellent point. Not to mention, this is an offensive line that had 5 new starters, an entire new front 7. If you would have said in August that Clemson's going to be here on January 11th, considering they had all those players to replace, I would have been very, very shocked.
1,981 miles in their campus. 1981, of course, the magic season for Clemson. They haven't played this close to the original Death Valley in a half century. And here are the Tide. Businesslike as always, expected to be here, but building on the disappointment, not finishing against Ohio State last season.
That really has a lot to do, I think, with their vision, with their focus. Been around Alabama for a long time, since Nick Saban's been there, and all the championships that they've won. I don't think I've seen a team more focused on winning as a group than this Alabama team for Nick Saban after that loss to Ole Miss.
So number 19, Reggie Ragland, one of the captains. And the Tigers take the field. Nick Saban told his team, you deserve to be here, but you are entitled to nothing. Anything less than a victory tonight, and this season ends in disappointment for Bama. Fan edge has to be Clemson, perhaps by 60-40. It's been a long time for the folks in orange. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. Alabama and Clemson in just moments now. But first, to the public address announcer, down to John Magrino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of our nation's colors by the Joint Service Color Guard, comprised of representatives from the U.S. Army, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Navy, U.S. Air Force, and the U.S. Coast Guard. And now for our national anthem, please welcome Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, producer, and actress, Ciara.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regulate, the bombs bursting in air gave through the night that our flag was still. Sailors that star-spangled banner
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field and welcome 3 of the newest members of the 2016 College Football Hall of Fame class. Burke Jones, LSU, Pat McAnally, Harvard, and Rod Woodson, Purdue. Congratulations to the entire class of 2016. And now, please direct your attention to midfield for the national championship game coin toss with tonight's referee, Terry Lydon, honorary captains C.J. Spiller and Mark Ingram, Clemson team captains Eric McLean, Sharon Peak, Stanton Seckinger, Travis Blanks, B.J. Goodson, and D.J. Reeder. Alabama team captains Jake Coker, Derek Henry, Ryan Kelly, and Reggie Ragland. And inductees of the 2016 National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame.
Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to the College Football Playoff Championship game. Congratulations on tremendous seasons by both teams. The coin we'll use tonight for the toss has the College Football Playoff logo on the head side. And on the tails side is the University of Phoenix Stadium logo. Alabama, you're the visitors. What will your call be tonight? Heads. Heads is called. And it is tails. Clemson, you've won the toss. Clemson has won the toss and deferred. You'll receive. Which direction would you like to kick? Turn your backs around that way. Bring your backs this way. To begin the game, Clemson is
So Clemson is a higher seed wearing the all-orange home uniforms, but Alabama will get the football first to begin this championship game. And with Nick Saban, down to Tom Rinaldi.
Chris, thank you very much. Nick, you've coached in this game 4 times. You've never lost. How do you use that experience to help this team win tonight?
I don't think this team knows anything more about it. I mean, you know, it's what we talked about before. Everybody's go out there and dominate their box, play with their best effort, be their best football player today. That's what everybody has to do. You got to do it for 60 minutes and have fun doing it. There's no anxiety here. Let's just go play.
Good luck tonight, Nick. Let's go across to Heather with Dabo Sweeney.
Tom, thank you so much. Coach, we're seconds away from kick. What do you feel is the most critical element early to set the tone in this game?
Well, I think, you know, first of all, we got to establish ourselves in the trenches on both sides. I think got to get in a rhythm, kind of get a feel for how they want to play. Probably the same for them. And just kind of get into the flow of the game. A lot of emotion, channel that emotion the right way, and just be who we are.
Coach, two of your top defenders came into warm-ups as question marks. You've said that Shaq Lawson will start. What is the status of Mackenzie Alexander?
I expect both of them to play and play well.
Good news, you're full strength. Coach, thanks. Chris?
Heather, thank you. Grew up in Pelham, Alabama, was a special teamer on Alabama's championship team that stunned Miami in the Superdome. Kirk, let's take a look at each team's plan for success presented by Northwestern Mutual.
Chris will start with Alabama. First thing they've got to do is go back to running the football with Derrick Henry. Remember last week it was a lot of pass to Ridley. Tonight it's more of Derrick Henry. They got to prevent the big play. Make Clemson's offense drive the ball. For Clemson, simple. Number 4's got to be the X factor. Deshaun Watson running and throwing. And then a big key in this game, when you look at Alabama, when they've struggled, it's been on third down on both sides of the football.
So a walk-on. Freshman Greg Hugel from Blythewood, South Carolina will kick it off for the Tigers. Tide have Kenyon Drake and Richard Mullaney. Two key receivers deep. The national title in year 2 of the playoff. Fought for tonight in the desert. And tonight's rematch of last year's classic between, again, the top 2 teams. Number 1, undefeated Alabama, 14-0. And number 2, Clemson. Both teams dispatching their semifinal opponents in dominant fashion to earn their way back to Tampa in this rematch for the championship. Hard to argue these are the 2 best football teams. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Samantha Ponder, and Tom Rinaldi will join us. Can the sequel equal last year's classics? The ingredients are certainly there. Plenty of subplots and also some fresh faces on both sides.
Yeah, this is the game that I think a lot of people thought in August we had a chance to see. Clemson with Deshaun Watson coming back with a lot of good playmakers around him. And, of course, Alabama with Nick Saban, who seems to always have a shot to get here. So when we left that stadium last year in Glendale, we kind of wanted that 5th quarter. Well, we're about to get another ball game here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Bama trying for a 5th title in 8 years. Clemson trying to climb to the mountaintop for the first time in 35 years. One of the new wrinkles, Lane Kiffin, who called the plays very successfully for the last 3 seasons, watching tonight in Boca Raton. He'll take over as FAU's head coach. Saban parting ways with Kiffin, bringing in Steve Sarkisian, who was going to call plays next season. But now Kirk, with a week to prepare, this veteran coach is going to guide this offense. Hasn't done it in a couple of years, call plays.
Yeah, unprecedented to see him in this situation, how he handles it. It's one thing for the 8 or 9 days building up to it, but tonight, when there's peaks and valleys emotionally, how does he handle his young freshman quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who isn't coming off his best game? In fact, the entire offense struggled against Washington. So you're going to see them try to do some things that can settle the quarterback in. The biggest thing is get his playmakers on the outside involved early with some quick passes. Calvin Ridley, and here are Darius Stewart, number 13. They've got to be able to get him the football. The other thing is be decisive in the quarterback run game. At times last week, Chris, he was sluggish and slow and deliberate. Tonight, he's got to be decisive, make quick decisions, and his best running is on the outside on the perimeter. And what's great compliment to that outside running game is Bo Scarborough in the middle. The physicality, what he was able to do last week against Washington, over 100 yards after contact. He'll have to be able to do that to take some of the pressure off of Jalen Hurts. But to me, this defense, that this offense is trying to go up against was Sarkisian, most aggressive, most attacking defense that maybe they've seen all year. So it's a tough challenge.
The expressions on Bulwer and Wilkins' face say it all. The theme tonight was gimme shelter. Which quarterback's going to be yelling gimme shelter? Because these 2 defenses combined have 99 sacks. Deshaun Watson, we're used to seeing his calm and his composure in these big game situations. Against the Tide last year, he shredded Saban's defense. Threw for 405, ran for 73, was brilliant in defeat. Came back motivated, trying to top that performance all year. At times he pressed, but again against Ohio State, Kirk, he he rose to the occasion, running and throwing in big moments.
Well, this is what we really want to see, is Deshaun Watson with an opportunity to go against Nick Saban's defense. He can do so many things with the football. The most important tonight, in my opinion, will be his accuracy. This is last year against Bama. And the reason he threw for over 400 yards is because of throws like this. Pretty good coverage there by Bama, but look at the placement on the football. Can he do that tonight again and find that zone? This is the other aspect that drove Alabama crazy, his ability to improvise. Receivers covered downfield, pulls it down, nobody there to be able to take him away, and he's able to extend the drive and drive Nick Saban absolutely crazy. Now, Nick Saban's had all this time to get his defense ready for those two aspects of the Clemson offense, and Deshaun Watson, you heard him last year after he got done playing him. That guy, other than Cam Newton, is maybe the best quarterback we've ever gone against. Is he better equipped this year to defend him?
Retooled, got quicker on defense to deal with those run-pass option plays that Clemson is so good at. Jonathan Allen, the sack leader. Reuben Foster, the linebacker, is the tackle leader. Very hard to run the ball against the Crimson Tide. 62 per game, 2 yards per carry. No rushing touchdowns allowed the last 7 games. And this is the startling stat, 11 defensive touchdowns. They've only allowed 15. They take it away, and they take it to the house.
The numbers are startling, but as you said, you made a great point. We'll be talking about it a lot tonight. The reason they're different and they feel better about the challenge is the front four. They feel they can get pressure on the athletic Deshaun Watson and get to him without having to blitz. If they can do that, if they can get to him and affect him, they don't have to sack him, just affect his rhythm with their front four, it could be a big night for the Bama defense.
It's historic. Whatever happens here tonight, there hasn't been a rematch in a championship game since this era began. Go back in 1998 with the BCS. They've been pointing at each other for a long time. Of course, the trophy is at stake for the champion here tonight. Bama trying to do something incredible. 5 in 8 years, and again, Clemson the first since '81. You can feel the intensity on both sides. Here is Ben Boulware, the linebacker and emotional leader of Clemson's defense.
I bring it in tight. Yo, the sand's running out, man. The sand's running out. I got one more time. And y'all best believe I'm going to exhaust this moment. I want y'all to have my back. I'm going to leave it all on the field for y'all, all right? I'm going to leave it all on the field. Hey, play for your brother, all right? Play for Clemson. Play for this ball. Play for the guys who came before you. Hey, play for Stephon Diggs, for Todd Boyd, for Newt, for all them boys that laid the foundation. They laid the foundation.
The motivations and the emotions are very powerful. We hope they get you ready. That he's 3-year history of the playoff championship game. This is the first outdoor game. Beautiful weather, temperatures in the high 50s. I want to say it's about a 60-40 Clemson edge.
That shot right there almost looks like Death Valley.
Just right on the other side. Kirk, tonight's Planning for Success brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
Well, let's start with Clemson. We talked in the open, Deshaun Watson's decision-making and accuracy. If he's on point, it'll be tough for Bama to slow him down. Make Jalen Hurts throw tonight to have to win the football game. And on the Bama side, Steve Sarkisian takes over. Needs to be able to find his rhythm with his young quarterback, Jalen Hurts, early with some quick passes and quarterback run game. And can they harass and affect Deshaun Watson to try to keep him out of the rhythm that we just talked about?
Sark said simplify it, allow Hurts to play faster. He's just 18 years, 5 months old. Clemson Tigers counting on Deshaun Watson, number 4 there, who has been impeccable in the 5 previous postseason games he's played in his brilliant career. Walks out as the winner of 31 games as a starting quarterback against 3 losses. There's his center, Jay Guillermo. Boulware, you heard from him earlier. Tigers, as they were last year, about a touchdown underdog, but they thrive in that role. Big, bad Bama. Win streak at 26. Always supremely confident. Those defenders, perhaps, Kirk, a little less business-like than we've seen in the past. They are keyed up to get after Deshaun Watson. Higher seed wears the home uniform, so a switch in uniforms from last year's Classic when Clemson wore the all-orange as the number 1 seed. Offensive leader Reuben Foster. Here's big Jonathan Allen, one of the most decorated defensive players in the country. And Robinson, number 74, their stalwart left tackle, the captains as well. Here come the Tigers. Is this the team that could beat Alabama? Dabo Swinney told me he thinks Clemson is the only team that can dethrone the Crimson Tide, and he felt very comfortable about his chances tonight. This has been the Nissan pre-game rush, and now the public address announcer, John Magrino.
Tonight, as we pay tribute to our nation, we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the U.S. Special Operations Command. Please welcome General Tony Thomas and Command Sergeant Major Patrick McCauley. And now, please rise and remove your hats as our nation's colors are presented by the 6th Air Mobility Wing Honor Guard, MacDill Air Force Base. Here to perform our national anthem, accompanied by Challenger the Eagle and a flyover from the 1st Special Operations Wing, Hurlburt Field, Florida, please welcome Capitol Records Nashville recording artists, Little Big Town.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Little Big Town. The 6th Air Mobility Wing Honor Guard, MacDill Air Force Base, Challenger the Eagle, the 1st Special Operations Wing, Hurlburt Field, and our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield for the national championship game coin toss with inductees of the 2017 National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame. Representing the University of Tennessee, Peyton Manning. And representing Duke, Florida, and South Carolina, Coach Steve Spurrier. Tonight's referee, Mike DeFee. Honorary captains for Clemson, Taj Boyd. And for Alabama, Derek Henry. And team captains for Clemson and team captains for Alabama.
All right, gentlemen, congratulations and welcome to the 2017 College Football Playoff National Championship. Back-to-back appearances by both teams, extremely impressive. My name's Mike DeFee. I'm your referee today from the Big 12 Conference. This is Robert Richardson. He's your umpire. Here's our coin tonight. This is heads, and this is tails. Clemson, you've been designated to call the toss tonight. What's your call? Heads. Heads is his call. It is heads. You want the call. You want the defer. You want the football. Which end do you want to kick from? You want to kick it this way? You put your back to that goal. Your back to this goal. Clemson being called before the launch into the second half. Alabama will receive.
So Clemson wins the toss and defers. Alabama will get the football to begin this championship game rematch. Alabama graduate, former national champion wide receiver and special teamer Dabo Swinney tries to beat his old school tonight. Samantha?
Well, Coach, you've talked about how big of a challenge Bama's front seven is. So what's the biggest indicator to you that your offensive line can be successful against them tonight?
Well, our past success. I mean, you know, we're 27-1 in our last 28. They're 28-1 or whatever. You know, we've played a lot of big teams, a lot of great teams. So we practice against good players. They're a great front. We got a great front. It's going to be a few plays, a few inches.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Coach. Tom Rinaldi, take it away.
Sam, thank you very much. Nick, a true freshman quarterback and a new offensive coordinator. What do you need to see from them to have success tonight?
Look, we have a good plan. We practiced it all week. It's time to go execute it. And it doesn't matter about all that because we've had a good week of work, and I think we're ready to go.
Appreciate the time. Go get it.
All right, thank you.
Chris?
All right, Tom, thank you. There's Sarkisian trying to exude calm in what must be an anxious moment and his 18-year-old quarterback. This is electric. A lot of fun. A fitting climax for this football season. The two best teams have muscled their way to Tampa. And someone's going to be kissing that trophy within the next 4 hours. Hugel to kick it away.
But never on opposite sides. A personal relationship eclipsed by a century of history. And now the student is home, looking to start his own legacy. Will the student become the master? If so, then it begins tonight. Yeah, you can call it bias, or what history calls it. Dominance, supremacy, dynasty. Damn straight. It's volatile and uncertain, intense and unknown, difficult and ultimate. It's about how much it means, why it matters, when it counts, and from where it comes. You know what, man? Enough talk. It's game time.
College football mecca, Atlanta. Frigid tonight. Her streets eerily quiet. But inside the modern marvel of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, it's overheated, raucous, and ready for the College Football Playoff National Championship game presented by AT&T. The Georgia Bulldogs, hungry to taste the school's first title in 37 seasons. The Alabama Crimson Tide driven to strengthen a decade-long dynasty with a 5th title in 9 years. And welcome, Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. We are so proud to bring you the championship game, year 4 of the playoff era. It's about to get crazy in here. This is going to be wild with Georgia just down the road here, Kirk. Georgia and Alabama separated largely by the Chattahoochee River, but like neighbors that don't visit each other that often, just 3 previous meetings in a decade. They're both from the SEC, and we know that's a flashpoint for quite a few of you, offsetting what was otherwise a down year for the conference. About half the programs in this league are in transition or turmoil, but you can't argue these two teams earned their way here.
Yeah, it's not really about necessarily looking at it as a conference. When you look at the bracket, it's about the 4 best teams. I think a lot of us agree they put the 4 best teams in. At the end of the day, Georgia's got to beat Oklahoma in double overtime, which they did. And obviously Alabama showed a different attitude, healthy, attacking the line of scrimmage, and they took care of Clemson. And so here we are, 2 teams that happen to be from the same conference in a year where the SEC collectively is down. But these 2 teams won in the playoff. They deserve to be here tonight.
Yeah, Saban wants that same angry energy tonight. All 4 championships he's won at Alabama have come with Kirby Smart on his staff. But now in year 2 at Georgia, Smart is trying to do what no former Saban assistant has done. Pull that sword out of the stone. Break the hold that Saban's had on his ex-assistants. McElwain and Dooley couldn't do it at SEC rivals.
Yeah, Dooley with his orange pants in Knoxville couldn't get it done. You look at the rest of these coaches, some of them defensive. Will Muschamp, Mark D'Antonio, Jimbo Fisher this year in this stadium with Florida State. Of course, he's now at Texas A&M. And there's Kirby saying, all right, I'm ready to take my shot right here.
He's been in the weight room, hasn't he?
He has, doing some squats, it looks like.
So both teams, it's no coincidence that Georgia is built like Bama. I mean, they've got a stout defense. They've got a powerful running game. 2 senior captains, best friends, roommates, combined 6 touchdowns in the Rose Bowl.
Well, Thunder and Lightning is what they're really referred to by their own fan base, and Thunder would be Nick Chubb. He is such a powerful runner, a veteran guy. We saw that on display in the Rose Bowl where you could see how many yards he had after contact. He had a great game. This is maybe a turning point in the game when he ran through those tackles, got into the end zone. And then Lightning, Sony Michel, who had a wonderful game in the Rose Bowl, got out in space. He can go the distance in a hurry. I don't know if he's going to clearly have the same opportunities against Alabama, but with the way Alabama plays defense, Michel will have to make some big plays, and they're going to have to try to get him out in space. Another huge factor tonight. All week you've heard about this is a line of scrimmage game. It's going to be an old school physical game. In my opinion, the quarterback play for both teams. Jake Fromm is a true freshman. Now, we've not seen a true freshman win the national championship since 1985, Jamel Holloway. He's got to be sharp tonight with his decisions and also very accurate against a great defense.
Fromm is a prodigy. He's a small-town Georgia kid from the central part of the state. He's tough to fool, but Saban will try his best to do that. Once again, the foundation of this team, he's going to try to win a 6th national championship, tie Paul Bryant, and what has been the constant stout defense. Despite a bunch of injuries, they're still number 1 in the country in most of the categories.
Incredible what this team has done, considering the injuries. That very first game on this field against Florida State, they had a lot of guys knocked out. That team kind of carrying on throughout the year. But they placed people in there. They grew up. They matured. And I thought last week, it's the best they've looked all year. They're going to set their edge from the outside, force Georgia back to the interior, kind of the teeth of the defense, and that's the strength of this defense tonight, especially against Georgia. So you think the answer is, all right, Georgia, get the ball to the outside. That's what Clemson tried. Nope, too fast at the linebacker spot, as you'll see Mac Wilson tonight, Rashaan Evans running around, and this is a big part of the game. 3rd down for Jake Fromm. They'll give you a lot of different looks. In this case, they brought one more than Clemson could handle. You can see it affected Kelly Bryant all night long. And so you want to put Jake Fromm, if you're Georgia, in those 2nd and 7, 3rd and 4. It's called staying on schedule. You do not want to put him at 3rd and 9 all night. That's what happened at Jordan-Hare in the first matchup against Auburn, and it really cost him.
Calling defense is Jeremy Pruitt. He's the new head coach at Tennessee. But he's going to try to do what Smart did, was win a championship in his farewell at Alabama. Jalen Hurts came close to winning a championship his true freshman season. What's the challenge for him tonight?
The challenge is taking care of the football. He's got to be able to continue to do what he's done all year. 1 interception all season. His offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll's done a very good job of kind of calling the game, kind of complementary to the way the defense and the special teams typically give Bama an edge. That's what he did against Clemson. Tonight, I think his feet, his ability to scramble on third down, and definitely being part of the running game will be a big key for Hurts tonight.
Yeah, Daboll comes from the Belichick, Tom Brady school. They are risk averse. That's why they only have 1 interception. Is that going to be good enough tonight? We'll see if we get going with the Dogs and the Crimson Tide. 2 neighboring states battling for that beautiful trophy here in Atlanta. Is it going to head about 3 hours to the west to Tuscaloosa, or an hour and change to the east and Athens, Georgia? The Nissan pregame rush from Atlanta is coming up next, just before kickoff. But first, a look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
On pregame rush, Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy and the College Football Playoff.
They first locked horns in 1895, the 68th meeting tonight in Atlanta between Alabama and Georgia. The Crimson Tide have won the last 3. They haven't lost to Georgia since Nick Saban's first year in Tuscaloosa. Get set for a raucous game unlike any we've seen in the championship here in college football. And now to the public address announcer tonight here in Atlanta, Mr. John Magrino.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as we honor our nation, please rise and welcome members of the ROTC units from the University of Georgia and the University of Alabama, joined by our President, Donald J. Trump. Please remain standing and remove your hats as our nation's colors are presented by members of the United States Marines Bravo Company, 4th Reconnaissance Battalion, Smyrna, Georgia. Here to perform our national anthem, accompanied by the inspirational voices of David Walker and High Praise, please welcome multi-platinum Grammy-winning artists Zac Brown Band.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrangling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Zach Brown and his band, Georgia natives, and big fans of these guys. Bulldogs is the higher seed given the choice, and they're going to wear the home red. A wardrobe change from the SEC championship game and the Rose Bowl. There's the defensive leader, Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, Nick Chubb, both guys, a lot of these players on this Georgia team deciding to come back for their senior year to have an opportunity maybe to make a run like this right here.
Veteran team, couple dozen seniors on this roster. Saban and his teams, no matter how big the game, their entrance is usually business-like, something you see on Sundays. It wasn't that way in the Sugar Bowl.
They played with an edge that they're going to try to duplicate tonight, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Felt disrespected with being questioned whether or not they should be in the playoff or not. Not to mention Clemson beat them last year in the championship. They were really out on mission last week.
Saban used home field in the Superdome to win a championship game over Oklahoma. Overcame one when his Alabama team went and beat LSU, smothered them 2011. Atypical Alabama. It's Georgia that appears more businesslike. About to get real loud, folks. Buckle up. Renzo Carter, who made the big field goal block in double overtime to spring the Dogs past the Sooners. And there's Fromm. How could his pulse possibly be under control in this moment as a freshman? Here come the Tide. Alabama fans travel, and they consider Atlanta their home away from home. But our best estimate, it's about 70-30 Dogs fans in here tonight. An opportunity. It's been driven home by both of these coaches, their players all week. Should be a lot of fun. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. Time for the coin toss, and back to our PA announcer, John Magrino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield for the national championship game coin toss with inductees of the 2018 National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame. Representing Murray State and Virginia Tech, head coach Frank Beamer. Representing Appalachian State, Tulane, North Carolina, and Texas, head coach Mac Brown. And representing the University of Georgia, offensive tackle Matt Stinchcomb. Tonight's referee from the Big Ten Conference, Dan Capron. Tonight's honorary captains for Alabama, O.J. Howard, and for Georgia, Herschel Walker, alongside team captains for Alabama and team captains for Georgia.
Congratulations, gentlemen, on making it to the national championship game. My name is Dan Capron. This is my umpire, Ed Feaster. We're here from the Big Ten Conference tonight. We're going to officiate your game for you. Alabama, you've been designated the visiting team, so you're going to have the privilege of calling the toss. We have a ceremonial coin here tonight. The head is in the shape of a football, the logo of the College Football Playoff. The tail has the logo of Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the year 2018. You got it? Head, tail. What's your call? Tails. Tails is called. It is a tail. Alabama, if you won the toss, what would you like to do? Alabama defers their choice to the second half. Georgia, you want the ball? Alabama, which way do you want to kick?
We want to kick 2 irons.
Want to kick this way? Please put your backs over here. Georgia has elected to receive to start the game. Gentlemen, up, shake hands. Good luck.
Great to have our championship team with us. Maria Taylor on the Georgia sideline. Tom Rinaldi on the Alabama side. Let's go to Tom with Nick Saban.
Chris, thank you very much. Coach, for all the times you've been in these big games, you say you never really know if your team is ready or how they'll play. What's the first indication, Nick?
Well, I think the most important thing is whatever the emotional level is, the players cannot get, the mental clutter cannot be a part of it. You got to have the discipline to execute and do your job, do it with a lot of intensity, and that's what got us here, and that's how we got to play today.
Good luck to you tonight, Nick.
All right, thank you.
Let's go to Maria.
Thanks, Tom. Coach, your team has made it to the biggest stage in college football. What was the final message you wanted to deliver before they took the field?
Play with passion and energy. Hunker down one more time, dogs. That's what we want them to do. We want them to go out there and lay it on the line.
You get the ball first. What's the key to a fast start on offense?
Get some first downs, get the ball moving, get some confidence.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Brett.
No different, is it? To be the boss back at your alma mater, where you're an all-SEC defensive back, as opposed to being on the staff of Nick Saban.
In just 2 years.
Cool all week, hasn't he?
Just 2 years.
He feels the energy has returned to his team after spending a lot of it in that double OT in Pasadena. We were impressed by the energy in practice. You see Jake Fromm and the Georgia offense go to work. J.K. Scott, the punter and kickoff man, in his 7th playoff game. Think about that. But booted away. Nicole Hardman is a dangerous return man. One time he thought he was going to go to Bama. Flipped to Georgia. You keep an eye on number 7, Trayvon Diggs, who set the tone in last week's opening kickoff. Big tackle, number 7.
It is almost time. The past few hours passing like the lifetime that led them here. The tunnel smells like adrenaline and sweat. The crowd outside roars in their ears like a jet engine, their pulses racing. Nothing matters right now but ending the wait. The basest human instincts colliding. Pain and love and fear and desire. Can you feel it? The noise is coming down, cleared for takeoff. A wall of sound waiting for the first chord. The building is revving, lurching, wild and limitless. It is time.
It is game time in the Bay Area, a balmy day after a soggy weekend. Together, they have dominated the season, and once more, their destinies are linked. The Crimson Tide collide with the Clemson Tigers at the College Football Playoff National Championship game presented by AT&T. History awaits. One will be the first 15-0 champion in the modern era of major college football. And keep in mind, the lower-seeded team has won the first 4 playoff championship games. These collisions began 3 years ago. Round 1 went to Bama after a frenetic 40-point fourth quarter. They got a special teams touchdown from Kenyon Drake. Round 2, Deshaun Watson and the Tigers avenged that. A touchdown with 1 second to go. And then last year, in a semifinal game, the Tide broke open a defensive game in the third quarter. And tonight we have the Tide and the Tigers tetralogy. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. This seldom used label for an historic matchup, Kirk. Somebody's going to be 15-0. These programs have really owned the season. We expected this. We've waited for it. We've got it.
Yeah, this is the game in August. And if we said, Chris, who's going to be in the championship when we get out to Santa Clara, probably 95% of the people would have said these two teams. These were the two best teams all year. It's fitting that they ended up navigating their way through and making it. And what I love about this is I think we have a chance to have some points scored and a potential fireworks and a shootout, very reminiscent of the first two times these teams got together in the national championship.
There are two new faces, though, and they are the quarterbacks. Of course, Trevor Lawrence was in high school this time a year ago, and Tua Tagovailoa, when they played in the semifinals, was still a week away from his postseason heroics. Now, Tua, of course, he was the Heisman Trophy runner-up. He took over as the starting quarterback throughout the season. He's been absolutely brilliant. He was almost flawless in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, another big trophy. It was such an incredible story last year when he came off the bench at halftime to lead Alabama in a comeback victory over Georgia in overtime with that championship, and now he brings his team back as a starter all year. This is going to be exciting because they have such a balanced attack. They can run the ball or they can throw the ball. It's not just Tua this year that makes this offense dynamic. It's what's around him. He's the ultimate distributor. What will Clemson do? Do they load up to stop the run to give these wide receivers a chance, or do they sit back and make Alabama be patient? We'll find out here in a few minutes.
Yeah, Tua gives them by far the best passing game they've had in these Bama-Clemson games. But on the other side, Clemson has a retooled offense. They've got firepower. They've had 9 straight wins by 20 points because Trevor Lawrence has looked anything but like a true freshman. His journey began in Cartersville, Georgia.
I've heard a lot of people talk about I'm waiting for him to have that freshman moment where the stage gets too big. We've not seen that yet. I don't expect to see it tonight on this grand stage in the national championship. What I think's big is last year, Alabama completely took away Clemson's ability to throw the ball down the field. With Trevor Lawrence, it's a totally different situation that now Alabama's going to deal with. He can throw it downfield, and if he does, that's where you'll see number 9, Travis Etienne, and the balanced attack that Clemson's had all year on display. But Bama's tough, especially up front at the line of scrimmage.
You get the feeling both offensive coaching brain trusts like their matchup against the DBs unless that pass rush can affect the quarterback. We can have a shootout.
Everything that we've had a chance to not only study on film but talk to the coaches, I think they're both very confident. If they have time to throw, they can make big plays in the passing game.
Is this another cinder block in one of the incredible dynasties we've seen in the history of this great sport? Or can Clemson dethrone the Tide, stake their claim as a modern dynasty? Let's go to Maria Taylor with Nick Saban.
All right, Coach, the third time you tee up against Clemson in a national championship, but a different quarterback on the sideline, the greatest challenge Trevor Lawrence presents to your defense.
Well, he's a fine player. He can throw the deep ball well. They've got really good outside players, and a real key to the game to me is how we manage and control and keep those guys cut off.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Now we send it over to Tom.
Maria, thank you very much. Dabo, the 2 best teams in college football, what everybody wanted. Your final message to your team before they took the field.
Just be who we are, man. Just be who we are. We've worked our tail off really since last January to this point. We've earned the opportunity to be here, dominate this moment. That's what it's all about.
Appreciate the time and good luck. Thank you. Chris and Herbie, up to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Saban had the choice, deferred, so he'll put his defense on the field against Trevor Lawrence. So Joseph Bulovas, his parents did not want him to play football at all, but he said, maybe I could be a kicker, and he convinced his parents to give it a shot. And he's a freshman, and he'll boot it away. Another true freshman is back deep for the Tigers, Darian Kendrick. Appreciate, don't hate their dominance. That's our advice. Settle in and enjoy the Tide and the Tigers for the championship again.
No place does a night like the night better than New Orleans. The LSU and Clemson Tigers are in town. There's a national championship to be won. The sun's going down and it's time to cut loose. Hit the stations of the NOLA Cross. Find a band and a club and a floor. Let the music take you away. Follow a big chief through Tremaine. Bounce down Rampart. Bounce down North Claiborne. They're talking about this game on every street. Kids all over the city are dreaming of one day playing in a game like this. This is a football-crazed city. You can hear the St. Aug band for blocks. Listen to the horns. That's how the city talks. Corey Henry's on the stage, and he's got a special guest. The LSU Tigers, the Clemson Tigers. Live from New Orleans, it's game time.
It's a foggy night in America's most festive city, and inside this monument to mega events, the Superdome, we are ready for the College Football Playoff National Championship game presented by AT&T. A collision of unbeaten LSU, unbeaten Clemson. What a quarterback showcase. Trevor Lawrence, tall and tough, and 25-0 as a college starter. Joe Burrow, the landslide winner of the Heisman Trophy, also perfect as a starter. Clemson, the defending champion, seeking a 30th consecutive victory. And LSU on home soil, hoping to cap a perfect season. They survived very different semifinals. Clemson clawing from 16 down to conquer Ohio State. LSU clobbering Oklahoma by 5 touchdowns. And welcome inside the Superdome. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit, we are thrilled to be able to bring you the CFP National Championship game together for the 6th time. And inside this building, Kirk, which has been buzzing for an hour, it's all set up. LSU hoping to cap what's been a magic carpet ride of a season, supremely confident. But there's Clemson, the toughest out in college football the last couple of years, trying to reach the Mount Rushmore of college dynasties with a win tonight.
That would be a dynasty. If Clemson were able to cap off the 2019 season with a win tonight, 3 of the last 4, that's as good as you're going to see in the modern era of college football. And how about LSU? What a story that they've been, especially their offense. Most prolific offense I've maybe ever seen. And it won't be remembered unless they win tonight. So a lot at stake for both these teams.
When LSU has football, it'll be a matchup with the stingiest defense in the country, Clemson, against the highest scoring offense. And in this city known for great music, it's quite an ensemble that Ed Orgeron has assembled there for the first time ever. A Power 5 team as a 5,000-yard passer. Joe Burrow actually has 55 touchdowns. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the hometown hero from Baton Rouge, one of the most versatile backs in the country, a 1,000-yard rusher. Jamar Chase, the top deep threat of the sport. Justin Jefferson, the best slot receiver. How does anybody stop all that?
Well, Joe Burrow right now is in control of an offense that nobody has been able to stop up to this point. You just showed an incredible group of players around him. I think 5 NFL players eventually around him. And I think you're looking at a guy that I've never seen prepare. College quarterbacks prepare. But to have answers the way Joe Burrow has this year, his understanding of the scheme, how to attack, where the weakness is, has been unbelievable. The one thing I would remind people of is Brent Venables has had 15 days to get his defense ready to come up with a few curveballs on trying to come up with ways that can confuse Joe Burrow and especially his offensive line and try to get pressure on him. That's the way Clemson can try to slow him down.
Venables coaching in his 8th national championship game. Think about that. There's a quiet assurance on the Clemson side. They've been here before and done big things. They've been climbing now in this CFP era, and they have won 2 out of 3, trying to make it 3 out of 4. Yes, they climb past Alabama. They become a monster in the postseason. Check the winning percentage in the CFP era.
I love that look. That really sums up who Clemson has become. As much as Dabo Swinney tries to say, poor old Clemson, nobody respects us. The reality is, look at the trophies. Look what they've accomplished. They're 60 minutes away from winning their third in the last 4 years. Trevor Lawrence is the key. He stepped up against the Buckeyes. The running game wasn't there. They couldn't get ETN going. They couldn't get the passing game going. So he ran the ball to victory. Tonight, that won't be enough. Against Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence has to have a big game throwing, and his receivers have got to do a much better job of getting off of press coverage from LSU.
And their great running back, Travis Etienne, back in his home state, hoping for a big night in the Superdome. LSU's defense, we saw them struggle a bit early in the season. They've gotten healthy. They played much better down the stretch. They'll need all of that tonight.
Yeah, they're going to try to come up with a plan to try to get Trevor Lawrence as much as they can off balance, slow down the Clemson running game, and then bring the pressure, turn them loose, and try to get into the face as best they can of Trevor Lawrence.
Heavyweight title bet and the trophy goes to the winner. Paw prints from Clemson have been all over that in recent years. Ed Orgeron didn't even want to look at that trophy the other day. He is superstitious. We cannot wait. The Tigers versus the Tigers inside the Superdome. Kickoff coming up next. But now, let's kick it to Kenny Mayne. And welcome back to the AT&T pregame showcase. Kickoff just minutes away now. The Tigers in all orange tonight have not lost in 742 days since the loss here to Alabama a couple of years ago. The Tigers in white, purple, and gold haven't trailed in the last 25 quarters. Time for the presentation of the colors and our national anthem. We go to public address announcer, Mr. John Magrino.
Please rise and remove your hats as our nation's colors are presented by the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base New Orleans All-Service Color Guard, including members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. Tonight, as we honor our nation, please remain standing and welcome members of the ROTC units from Louisiana State University and Clemson University, joined by the President of the United States and the First Lady. Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome multi-platinum, two-time Grammy Award-winning artist, Louisiana's own Lauren Daigle.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are built for this. This is what we do.
Get that heartbeat going. Let's go. One team, one heartbeat.
We made it to the title game, and now we got a chance to prove a lot more people wrong.
You know, it's years of hard work that culminate in one moment.
Get that eye of the tiger. You put that heart of a champion on full display tonight.
I feel like there's no doubt that we're the best team.
Best of football. LSU Tigers go to war. 1, 2, 3.
Ed Orgeron, Louisiana native from deep in the bayou, Lafourche Parish, living his dream job, and he would have just told his guys to buckle their chin straps, which he calls the greatest sound in college football. The Bayou Bengals going to war 81 miles from their home campus. Defending champions, Clemson underdogs to this team tonight inside the Superdome. Can they harness the energy and the emotion and not be overwhelmed by it? They'll play for a championship in this building for the 4th time. They're 2-1 in the first 3. They're so charged up, they knocked over the photographer on the way onto the field.
Confident football team.
Understatement.
Yep.
Clemson, a more quiet assurance. Trevor Lawrence, the performance he put together with an upset stomach. The championship game a year ago against Alabama. They love being the underdog. Relish this role, does Dabo Swinney. Seven Tigers are playing in their 3rd national championship game. 36 like Trevor Lawrence. a championship a year ago. 14 guys started in that championship game. They're back. Kirk Dabo-Sweeney's a Rocky fan. He's talked about Rocky IV. Rocky Balboa trying to beat Ivan Drago in Russia. That's the way he framed the challenge to his team, who didn't know who Ivan Drago was, by the way.
He's actually used different Rocky references for different championships in the past, and this one happens to be Rocky IV on the road.
Burrow leading the LSU captains out. A Pac-12 crew is in charge of this championship game tonight, as they were 4 years ago. Chris Coit is our referee. Brady Jarrett and Booker McFarland, the honorary captains. Let's go to Coit for the coin toss.
Welcome to the 2020 College Football Playoff National Championship game between the Clemson Tigers and the LSU Tigers. Congratulations to both teams for earning the opportunity to compete for the title of national champions. I'm Chris Coit. This is Francisco Villar. We and the remainder of our officiating crew are proud to represent the Pac-12 Conference on the field today. Now, a special occasion requires a special coin. On one side of today's coin is the image of the national championship trophy, and this is heads. On the other side of the coin is the image of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and this is tails. Clemson is the designated visiting team. They'll call the toss. Heads or tails? Heads is the call. It is tails. LSU has won the toss. LSU is deferring their choice to the second half. Clemson, you're going to receive. LSU, which way do you want to kick? Okay, go ahead and put your backs to that goal. Clemson shall receive the opening kickoff. Good luck, guys. Let's have a great game.
Ed Orgeron wants his defense on the field first to build all this crowd noise and show confidence in that unit against Trevor Lawrence. Maria Taylor with Dabo-Sweeney. Maria.
Thanks, Chris. Well, Coach, your team's been doubted all season, but you told them they'll have a chance to prove that they are the best. What makes you confident that they'll be able to win this matchup tonight?
Well, I mean, we got a good team. I like my guys, so I watch them practice every day. Got a great group of people that love each other. Hoping we got a chance.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. Now we send it over to Tom Rinaldi with Coach
Maria, thank you very much. Ed, all it's taken to get here, all it means to you. How do you manage the challenge of the emotion in coaching this team to a win?
You know, after the first hit, that all goes out. It's about fundamentals, technique, play for 60 minutes. They're a good team, we're a good team. Let's battle.
Appreciate the time.
Go Tigers.
The cut at Orgeron's head came from a punch that he gave himself after a practice to get his guys fired up. He's a unique individual, Kirk.
He really is. He has a team that is incredibly fired up against the old veteran Clemson team that's been there and done that. That leadership and experience would tend to give the advantage to the Clemson Tigers, but we'll see about the emotion of LSU here early.
Orgeron hoping for an early stop, hoping the crowd will continue to make life tough on Lawrence. They've got the busiest and the best kickoff man in the country. Avery Atkins, a sophomore from Auburn, Alabama, to boot it away. Travis Etienne hoping he'll have a chance against all odds to return this kick. Comes from Jennings, Louisiana, about 100 miles away. Tigers versus the Tigers for the title. Should be a lot of fun.
How do we prepare better? Everybody needs to have more mental energy and intensity.
Yeah. You know, Bama and the Buckeyes, they've been around for a while now. Not sure if they have much left to prove. Yeah, they do.
I look at me now, I'm thinking, damn, how proud of me I am. What I did is nothing to sneeze at, even if your allergies are bad.
Talk about guts. Justin Fields.
I look around, I see the fans, how they surround me in the stands, how they can drown and see your hands, they hollering shots by this team.
How did they get here? Focus, formula. In a season of separation, preparation, staring down fate, forging ahead, they could have surrendered. They took no prisoners instead.
Where am I supposed to go from here?
Ray Sermon. Najee Harris,
I don't see this team losing.
So much strength and pride, power and self-belief. And in these teams, both run so deep. Bands of brothers, on the field and in the history books.
We all came here to play, and we got something to prove.
One shot to get that crown. For these teams, nothing is higher.
Time to push my ceiling higher, cause
Ohio State national champions for the 8th time.
really
The Clemson Tide will not be denied. Alabama back on top.
It'll never get old. They ain't gonna go away. We have to put them away. Yeah, we work for this. We work so hard for this.
As Eminem says, let's get down to business. The college football playoff national championship game presented by AT&T. Miami's Hard Rock City. The SEC champion, undefeated, top-seeded Alabama Crimson Tide. And the third-seeded champions of the Big Ten, Ohio State Buckeyes. This is the AT&T 5G pregame showcase. Alabama rolling through 10 SEC games, tested only by Florida and Atlanta. They crushed Notre Dame. Ohio State finally put together a complete performance, beating Clemson by 3 touchdowns. And welcome to Championship Monday and the finish line of a season that almost wasn't. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, you know the story, all the confusion, all the chaos, all the challenges for the players and the coaches, and that's why folks on both sides said if they are the last team standing when the confetti is falling tonight, the championship emotions are going to be overpowering, perhaps unique to this year, Kirk, because of what it took to get here and what it took out of them.
Yeah, and I really think it's a great time to just celebrate college football for this entire year. These two teams have been able to get here. They're at the championship, and you're right. It's a historic year. We'll remember this for a long time for many reasons, and especially tonight. These two blue bloods, these brands on the field together. May the best team win.
Grateful to be here. Is it greedy to ask for a classic finale? The ingredients are there. You got offensive firepower on both sides. Alabama's offense, the best in school history, one of the best in college football history. They have the Heisman Trophy winner, DeVonta Smith, congratulated by his quarterback, Mac Jones, who finished third. Trophy winners all over the place on that offense.
Yeah, they've had a big week in that regard individually, but the thing you got to be impressed with DeVonta Smith and really the entire Crimson Tide is they put that to the side. It's all about tonight. It's all about climbing this mountain and winning a championship. Steve Sarkisian, the offensive coordinator who's headed to Texas to become the head coach tomorrow, does a good job with the RPO game. His quarterback, Mac Jones, will feel it. You overload Najee Harris in the run game, look out. They'll get space on the outside to DeVonta Smith, something that Ohio State has to be aware of. Pre-snap movement. He's just trying to get an indicator. What are you going to do? This time Notre Dame doesn't move. They've got 2 blockers out in front of DeVonta Smith. And again, there's that space that Ohio State will try to take away by leveraging the football. It's the thing also I think has been impressive. And DeVonta Smith's willing to do this. Be a decoy. He takes the corner. He takes the safety with him. They flood the zone. There's nobody left. And there's Billingsley, a very talented young tight end, all alone in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. So I think that this offense with Sark, so creative. How's Ohio State try to defend it? I think it's more of a bend but don't break kind of philosophy. Try to keep the ball in front of you. Try to squeeze in the red zone. Force them to field goals and not touchdowns.
Tommy Togiai, Tyreek Smith, 2 starting linemen for Ohio State are out of this game. They have some backups that come back. But can the Ohio State offense match the Tide touchdown for touchdown? They got a prolific crew as well. Justin Fields, that crunching hit that he took 10 days ago in the semifinal win over Clemson, missed 1 play, came back in, tossed 6 touchdowns. But Kirk, he told us on Friday, only about 70%. He'll have to manage the pain and maybe manage the risks tonight.
Yeah, well, if he's managing the risks, that would be a concern for Ohio State. They need him to be able to be the athlete that he is. He's a dual threat. He throws from the pocket. He also is a runner. You can see what he did last week. 6 touchdowns against Brent Venables' defense in Clemson. I think it starts really, as much as we want to talk about the skill, the offensive line, how physical and dominating they were against Clemson. We've got to see that early to establish Trey Sermon, who's been on fire, the last 3 or 4 games. If you get that going, that sets everything else up. They love to combine the physicality of the running game with a vertical passing game. They look for matchups and ways to get by and hit those creases to Chris Olave, number 2. If he can get matched up one-on-one, Ohio State's confident he can get by the Alabama corners. This is what I talked about, Chris. This is a design rollout to throw the ball, a levels concept, but he also has the opportunity to take off, pick up a few blocks, and pick up a first down. You got to see that tonight from Ohio State, and Alabama's very concerned about his legs. We'll have to watch his health.
Ryan Day calls the plays, trying to win a championship in his 25th game at Ohio State. Nick Saban go for his 7th national title. It would put him past Paul Bryant. Great to have both Maria Taylor and Allison Williams on the sidelines tonight. Maria's with the Buckeyes.
Well, Chris, you mentioned it, that Justin Fields returned to practice on Thursday and felt about 70%. The final report I got from an Ohio State official was that he's at 95% right now, that he can make every throw, he can make every single run. But the question is, how will he respond once he has hit? He's got a special rib protector. He'll have extra padding on that hip. We'll see how that injury progresses throughout this game. Now let's check in with Alabama and Allison Williams.
Hey there, Maria. I am told Alabama receiver Jalen Waddle will play tonight despite having surgery just 11 weeks ago on his fractured right ankle. He will be limited to the routes that he is comfortable with. Coaches had about 90 minutes to go through the game plan and figure out how they can best utilize him, but he is confident he can help this team. Chris, that is a huge addition to this Alabama offense.
It sure is, Allison. If he's more than a decoy, if he can actually be a weapon, that remains to be seen. Countdown to kickoff from Miami. But now for an interview powered by AT&T 5G Holovision and David Pollack.
We all know he's a jinx.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
This is a special presentation of ESPN, home of the College Football Playoff National Championship game, presented by AT&T.
Promise, no matter what happens, you stick together because you love the guy next to you.
Everybody, man, if you hop in that car with me, you better be riding. Go to work, man.
Fields delivering a performance that's going to live forever.
Hey, y'all, boys, let's go.
Here's Devontae. Najee into the end zone.
Serve it in the clear. Touchdown.
What you do, speak so loudly, it don't matter what you say. It matters what you do.
Players on neither side came to their schools to get to the game. They came to win the game. Welcome back to the AT&T 5G pregame showcase. Alabama's seniors trying to bookend their careers with championships. They won as freshmen in 2017. Tide are 9-point favorites, but the Buckeyes relish the underdog role once again. Just their 8th game. Ryan Day say it would be one of the great stories in the history of the sport if they can win. And here come the SEC champions. Crowd of 14,000 dispersed both the lower and upper decks. Monte Smith, one of those seniors. Mac Jones in his first full year as a starter back in his home state. Grew up in Jacksonville. Saw that Tide offensive line most decorated in the sport. And Ohio State inspired because not many trophies on their side. Incredible. It's 5 months to the day since the Big Ten teams were told fall football season is canceled. You don't think they're relieved and overjoyed and grateful to be here?
This was the focus for Ryan Day all along, through all that. Keeping his team focused not just on Clemson, but on the national championship.
Performance for the ages from that young man against the Clemson Tigers. Can he duplicate it? Might need to. Toughness not in question, but execution under a premium. And Mac Jones, a little wry smile, understudy of Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa, the young guy on that championship team in 17. Now he is the pilot of this offense. Shaun Wade, who was toasted by the Clemson Tigers, faces a serious challenge tonight against this Alabama receiving corps. Expect early fireworks. Both offenses, Kirk, known for fast starts, to say the least.
Ohio State feels confident that they can score with Alabama, and we're about to find out.
Big 12 crew will officiate this game, as they did the Clemson-Ohio State game. Brandon Cruz, the referee, and he's got the coin toss for us.
Captains, welcome and congratulations on the opportunity to play the College Football Playoff National Championship. Mr. Dickerson, Mr. Borland, this is the umpire, Marlo Fitzgerald. My name is Brandon Cruz. I'll be your referee. Ohio State will call the toss. Heads will be the trophy side, and tails will be the stadium side. What's your call?
Stadium.
Stadium for tails. Call is tails. It's heads, Alabama wins the toss. Defer. You want the football?
Yes.
Which way do you want to kick?
I'll kick that way.
Place your backs to your goal lines, please. Alabama has won the toss. Will defer their option to the second half. Ohio State will receive the football at this goal line. Let's have an awesome national title game.
Landon Dickerson, who's the injured center representing the Tide as a captain, fully dressed tonight. Maria.
All right, Coach, you've dealt with a lot of adversity all season long, and tonight is no different. You have to go without key defensive linemen, your quarterback's dinged up, and guys on special teams. How do you clear this last hurdle for a national championship?
We talked to the guys in the locker room. This is why you come to Ohio State. Play for national championship. So throw all that other stuff out the window. Let's just go compete for 60 minutes, and let's go win the whole thing.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach. Allison?
Thank you, Maria, here with Coach Saban. Coach, you told your team at the beginning of this unprecedented season, the team that handles the challenges the best will have the most success. How do they need to handle their final challenge?
Well, we're soon to find out, but they seem like they're in the right place, so, we'll see how we play. We just got to play with discipline. Everybody's got to do their job and execute like we've done all year.
Coach Saban, thank you so much.
Right,
Chris, back to you.
Saban has split his 4 appearances in the CFP championship game. The 2 wins over Clemson and Georgia have been razor-thin margins.
Telling Allison, do your job, execute, do what you know.
Will Reichard, sophomore kicker, has been perfect on his PATs and field goals. He'll boot it away. Demario McCall, deep for Ohio State. We'll see Justin Fields in the Buckeyes offense momentarily. You get a quick look at number 1 and what he can do tonight. Savor the moment. Crimson Tide and the Buckeyes with the championship of this most challenging, surreal season.
Presented by AT&T.
There you are.
Welcome back. Took you long enough.
Miss me?
Everything's in place, and the states are ready. Synthesizing data.
Fire it up.
Processing. History downloaded.
In 3, 2, 1.
They are legit. They're the best team all year. This is who they want. UGA will have revenge on its mind against Alabama.
Because Alabama breaks Georgia hearts.
It's going to be two gladiators going right at each other.
Georgia. Alabama, another building block in this dynasty.
Let's go.
In frigid Indianapolis, two Southern neighbors battle for the ultimate prize in college football. A rivalry that goes back a century and a quarter. Welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship game presented by AT&T, a collision of SEC rivals, Alabama and Georgia. They have divided the #1 ranking all season long. Each of them won their semifinal games by more than 3 touchdowns. Alabama has beaten their neighbors 7 straight times. The last 4 have been Nick Saban over Kirby Smart, beginning with the championship game in Atlanta, the 2nd and 26 touchdown pass from Tagovailoa to Devontae Smith. The next year in the SEC championship game, same building, Jalen Hurts off the bench breaks Georgia hearts. Last year in the regular season, Mac Jones, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith in a blizzard of big plays came from behind again. And the Tide did it again in Atlanta from 10 down. Bryce Young leading Bama back against Stetson Bennett. And that is the backdrop. 37 nights later, Smart and his former boss, Saban, are reunited with the ultimate prize right there for the taking. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Thrilled to be able to bring you the national championship game. It's the dynasty, Bama going for 7 and 13 years. Think about that.
That's crazy.
Versus the drought. Georgia saying, can we just have one after 4 decades? They've been the 2 best all year long.
It has been the 2 best teams all year. And you know, I think Georgia was a step above when those 2 teams got together in Atlanta. And Alabama beats them, and now we get the rematch to decide it all.
And how they beat him, because Bryce Young was superb. He cemented a landslide Heisman Trophy win by his performance against the Bulldogs. Bama's first quarterback to win it, and the 4th in the Saban era. Can he do what Devontae Smith and Joe Burrow did, back up a Heisman with a national title?
Yeah, he's been incredible to watch this year. New offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian left, Mac Jones left, Najee Harris, so many big pieces last year's team. They started over, and yet Bryce Young lived up to the standard of what an Alabama quarterback is, with incredible decision-making and poise that I don't know if we've seen in a long time from such a young player.
Great pressure to match Bama's offense, and for Stetson Bennett and the Bulldogs, just not up to it. Bama's defense got after him and forced some mistakes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a head-scratcher because he's been so consistent with his decision-making, except against Alabama. This last year, this is a decision where you just throw it away, live for the next play, and instead he throws it back into the teeth of that Alabama defense for one of his 5 interceptions in the last 2 games. This is 37 days ago in the SEC championship. Again, doesn't quite feel that safety. Should go over top of the safety to the outside receiver because he comes up, and it's a pick 6 by Jordan Battle and really clinched the game. So tonight, it's about him finding his zone. Everybody else that he started against, he's been incredible. I mean, look at the numbers, 13-1 as a starter. Defense, complimentary football, handing it off, play action. But against Alabama, they negate the running game. They put it all on 13, and then they do a good job of disguising and offering a lot of issues for him with his decision-making. Hate to put it all on his shoulders, but he's got to make better decisions, obviously, tonight.
And he's done some soul-searching and some tape study. He's a home state hero, Blackshear, Georgia, southern part of the state, representing all the underdogs who've been told, you're not good enough. Can he be good enough tonight?
Yeah, and this is what Todd Monk and the offensive coordinator do. It's called 13 personnel. They have 3 tight ends. The challenge for a defense, what do you put in against these tight ends that are really receivers? Brock Bowers is as good a tight end as there is in the country. Michigan has a linebacker because the fear of them running out of that 3 tight end set. This is, I think, what Todd Monken does as well as anybody in the college game. Create matchups. James Cook often will motion out try to get a matchup with a linebacker without a safety over top. And if he gets it, you can assure that you're going to see Stetson Bennett take that shot, find those one-on-one matchups. But the biggest thing to me is, can Georgia play complementary football? Running, play action, playing defense. That's how they played every game except 37 days ago against this Alabama team.
You asked Bennett, what's it going to take? The first thing he said was, I've got to run the ball.
That's right.
Georgia's offense has been productive all year long. Can they get it done? It's fascinating, this rematch. Adjustments, wrinkles. What'll be new? What'll be the same? About to find out. The MegaCast is also back tonight, including the film room with Jimbo Fisher and his Texas A&M staff, plus the AT&T 5G Skycast and High Skycast channels. Also, new technology options made possible by the power of AT&T 5G with 5G connected live drone coverage outside the stadium, capturing great views all around Indy. And in addition, the always helpful AT&T 5G pylon cams look out for above the pylon cameras, also presented by AT&T 5G. Back with the national anthem and kickoff right after this. Game showcase here in the home of the Colts. There is no blue. We think it's about 60-40 Georgia red over Alabama crimson. Both of these fan bases travel. This is a tough ticket. Tremendous anticipation with the prize at stake. Time for the anthem. And the public address announcer, John Magrino.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you would all please rise as our nation's colors are presented by a Joint Service Color Guard from the Military Department of Indiana's ceremonial unit, including Indiana and Kentucky members of the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard. Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome 9-time Grammy nominee and 5-time Gospel Music Association Female Vocalist of the Year, Natalie Grant.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran cloud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The anticipation has been building for this rematch.
You're focused on this moment. What I control is what I do.
Blow by blow, you strike them, you knock them down. It ain't about how you look, it's about how you hit.
Kobe Dean's been a nightmare. Touchdown, Alabama!
Play with him. You go out here and take something that belongs to you. You go take what belongs to you.
The Crimson Tide is the top seed, wearing the home uniforms. Underdogs tonight, as they were in Atlanta. Georgia favored by about a field goal. Nick Saban seeking his 8th national championship. It's a record, his 7th at Alabama. Adapted and tailor his coaching style to build confidence and leadership in this young team. Maybe his best job ever, many think. One of his best quarterbacks ever, that's for sure.
His quarterback plays his best when the lights are the brightest, and that's what they're going to be tonight.
Georgia, bitter taste from that latest loss to Alabama. Is this their night to send off a celebration down in the Peach State? They waited since the Herschel Walker era to raise the ultimate trophy. It's electric inside Lucas Oil Stadium tonight, and here come the Crimson Tide. Never seen anything like it in the sport. The dominance that Alabama has put on display. Can Kirby Smart and this group of Bulldogs be the team to prevent another trophy?
Looking into Kirby's face there, man. You work all this time for this moment.
Well, these dogs believe. It's been a question. Is Alabama in their heads? Kirby Smart knows everything about Nick Saban. Hasn't figured out how to beat him yet. The obstacle course. There's Kirby, and he's accomplished a lot. Gotten past the rival Florida. He's won the SEC East 4 times. Has an SEC title. He's beaten Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Michigan in playoff games. Beat Clemson in the opener. But look out! Didn't see Alabama coming that time. How could you not? Saban losing just once to former assistants and never lost to a former assistant from his Alabama staff. Jimbo Fisher and A&M giving the Tide their one loss this year. And that just made Alabama re-energized, refocused.
No doubt about that. Being around these two teams, I don't know if there is an edge emotionally after the way they played in Atlanta, where it was clear Bama had the edge, being that underdog.
Georgia bringing out some big people. Sawyer and Jordan Davis for the coin toss. It's an ACC crew in charge of this championship game, and Dwayne Haight is the referee.
Georgia, Alabama, congratulations on your great seasons, and welcome to the 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship. My name is Dwayne Haight, and this is Johnny Fort of the ACC. We're honored to be here today. Georgia, you've been designated to call today's coin toss. We have a special coin today. On one side is the College Football Playoff logo. That side will be heads. And on the other side is Lucas Oil Stadium. That side will be tails. Georgia, heads or tails, what is your selection? Tails is called. It is tails. Georgia, you've won the coin toss. Georgia has won the coin toss and has elected to defer their option to the second half. Alabama, you want to receive. Which way would you like to kick? It's turned. Which back's to here? Your back's to here.
So the Dogs trust their defense, and they'll put the football in the hands of Bryce Young. Great to have Holly Rowe and Molly McGrath on the sidelines. Holly's on the Bama side with Nick Saban.
Coach Saban, you said that after all these years, you get a good feeling about your team after you watch warm-ups that lets you know how the game will go. What did you see tonight?
Well, we warmed up great, but, this is an opportunity for our team to gain respect. They've shown a lot of competitive character all year to get here, and it's just great that they have the opportunity to play in a game like this against a great team like Georgia.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go to Molly.
Coach, your defense has heard for a month about how they couldn't sack quarterback Bryce Young. Why will tonight be different?
We practiced really hard at it. That's what's going to make it different. We're going to be aggressive. We got to get off the field on third down so we can stay fresh.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Chris Herbie, back to you.
I'll tell you, there's so much history, there's so much psychology, so many subplots. Let's hope we get one that was like the one 4 years ago in Atlanta, partner. We'll take that.
I'll tell you what, man, we've been calling these national championships for a lot of years. I don't know if I've ever felt this kind of energy in a building leading up to the opening kickoff as I'm feeling right now.
Really? Even bigger than Atlanta?
Yeah, this is intense. These two teams have different agendas and different motivations to get them ready to try to win this game. You see Nakobe Dean's face from Georgia when he was out there for that coin toss?
All business.
All business on both sides.
Butkus Award winner be out there momentarily. Jake Camarda handles the punting, holding, and the kickoff duties. JoJo Earl, true freshman for Alabama, awaits at the goal line. The AT&T 5G pregame showcase inside SoFi Stadium. TCU, the first Big 12 team to make it to this stage. Of course, the SEC has dominated these playoff championship games 13-3 against all other conferences. 70,000 split down the middle between purple and red tonight. PA announcer John Magrino now.
Please rise as our nation's colors are presented by the Joint Armed Forces Color Guard from the Military District of Washington. Including members of the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard. And now, to perform our national anthem, joined by American Sign Language performer, 10-year-old Seven Chandler from the Marlton School in Los Angeles, California, please welcome three-time Grammy Award-winning vocal group, Pentatonix.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rocking against the walls bursting. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Think about the work you've done to get this opportunity. There ain't no doubt in my mind this team is ready.
Okay, let's go! Let's play with our heart today. Play for the man that's left and right of you.
We love for everyone to continue to doubt us.
We're not a one-hit wonder. Georgia was built to sustain.
Y'all been asking for it.
this is the time when you go out and make sure your name's remembered.
We're not just happy being here. We want to win the whole thing.
Like, this is it. It's the national championship.
For 60 minutes, play fast, play physical, do your job.
Yeah, let's go!
The players' passion, John Williams' beautiful composition. Certainly have us ready up here in the booth.
Oh my gosh.
Kirby Smart knows how tough it is to repeat. Back-to-back champions, John, just 3 times since 1990. Most recently at Alabama, where he was defensive coordinator. Quentin Johnston leading TCU out. They fear no team. Georgia swaggers in as the biggest favorite. Championship game in recent decades. Almost 2 touchdowns. Second straight westward road trip for the guys from Fort Worth. Trying to shock the world tonight. Well, the Frogs' journey has been quite amazing. 5 wins a year ago, sub-500 record the last 4. They won the Mountain West. They won the Rose Bowl over Wisconsin. They had a share of the Big 12 back in 2014. But this is a massive achievement. The list of victims on the right there. The Frog just keeps hopping over people.
Yeah, and people that are not familiar with this TCU team, to go 5-7, bring in a new coach, 4 guys that have ever been to a bowl game and achieved this. They're on the grandest stage of college football.
You said that offhandedly. 4 guys who had ever played in any bowl game.
Any bowl game on the roster.
They're blowing apart the notion you're supposed to have playoff experience. Georgia with Chris Smith and these guys have been there before. Will that be a factor tonight?
Matthew Stafford, LT walking the captains out.
Stafford, of course, won a championship here. LT's nephew plays in this game tonight. Jeff Heiser of the ACC refereeing his first national championship game. And let's get down to Jeff for the coin toss.
Welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship. Captains, congratulations on a successful season. My name is Jeff Heiser. This is Jim Eckel. We're of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The commemorative coin today, the trophy is the heads. SoFi Stadium is tails. TCU, you will make the call. Tails is the call. Tails is the call. It is a heads.
We defer and kicking it to the locker room.
Georgia's won the toss. They've elected to defer. Do you want to bring out a switch hands?
Nolan Smith, the injured captain, doing the honors there. Great to have Holly Rowe and Molly McGrath keeping us informed from the sidelines. Here's Molly with Sonny Dykes.
Coach, everyone outside of your locker room calls you an underdog. Why can your team win here today?
Well, we believe we can. I think most importantly, we got a talented football team that believes in each other and has worked incredibly hard. So, we feel like we match up well, and we're excited to go compete against the best.
All right, thank you, Coach. Now let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach Smart, a back-to-back championship is rare in this sport. What do you need to see from your team early, particularly as you start on defense right now?
Aggression.
That's it?
That's what we want to do. We're going to hunt tonight. We're going to do the best we can to hunt tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Short, simple answer. They feel like they have been the hunted as defending champions. They want to do the hunting tonight.
Well, that one word summed up the energy and the vibe around the Georgia team, I'm sure, the whole week leading up to this kick.
So Jack Podlesny will boot it away. A guy who didn't watch football growing up. He's not living his dream tonight. He was a baseball guy, but he's on a big stage, and he'll send it away. All the subplots, all the amazing stories of all these players, the unlikely journeys, defying odds, and they all collide on this stage with a trophy and a title at stake. Sit back and enjoy the Dogs of the Horned Frogs. Darius Davis, deep for TCU. A very dangerous returner, whether it's a punt or a kickoff.
Go ahead.
M&O.
M&O's green. How we looking?
Safety is currently green. T-minus 5.
50 seconds. Copy. Go, no go for kickoff. Inco. Rendezvous. Fido. Prop. GNC. We are go for launch.
Roger.
Liftoff in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There she goes.
The game we've been waiting for the biggest prize in college athletics. Heroes of the past. Champions, baby. To Dorsett. Look out, he's got the corner. Touchdown, Dorsett. The name is Tony Dorsett.
Oh, my golly.
This game of football, America so dearly loves.
I had a dream the night before. I was going to score 3 times.
Peter Warrick, his 3rd touchdown of this championship game.
I just heard everybody go, Peter Warrick. And I was like,
You want a Hollywood ending? I got your Hollywood ending.
Houston, we had a problem here.
The national championship on the line.
4th and 5. 19 seconds. Game on the line.
He's going for the corner. He's got it. Invincible.
It's a big one. Michigan and Washington.
What a story.
Could it get any more dramatic? Texas lobs it up, and it is incomplete. Washington wins.
Michigan makes a stand and comes up with a milestone playoff victory.
And for a moment of magic, we owe everything to the game.
Look at Tommy Frazier. How many tackles can one man break?
There's only one way to make this night perfect. Win.
And now there is just one game left. One game that will be as big as a college football game can be.
You don't have a lot of big chances. You don't have a lot of these moments. You realize everything's on the line.
We got 30 minutes for the rest of our life. 30 minutes for the rest of our life. Let's go.
We have liftoff.
It's magic.
History.
Legacy.
grit.
And glory.
Station Houston, how's the view?
We've got the best seats in the house, Houston.
That will get you ready. Tonight in Houston, the mission for both Michigan and Washington is finish. Simple, but challenging. Two perfect seasons collide, the winner to join a very exclusive club of 15-0 national champions and end a more than quarter-century championship drought for their schools. Welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship, presented by AT&T. The top 2 seeds have made it to this moment. Number 1, Michigan. Number 2, Washington. This is the AT&T pregame showcase. Both teams made big stops on defense to earn the right to be here. Michigan prepared and showed the power to stop Alabama in overtime. A few hours later in New Orleans, Washington watched a comfortable lead evaporate, and Elijah Jackson had to swat away this pass from the Longhorns to secure yet another close, hard-fought victory for the Pac-12 champions. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Liftoff is approaching, and it's pretty exciting, man. We had a decade of calling these championship games, and tonight is the end of an era, the 4-team playoff bracket. It's also the end of a long drought for one of these teams. Next year, we add 8 more teams and 2 more layers. But for now, let's savor this rare collision of these 2 future Big Ten rivals.
And not only do we have this being in the end of an era, we have 2 teams that have fought gallantly to get to this point. Washington doubted most of the year by many, many people. They kind of rallied around that. And Michigan with the distractions, early with Jim Harbaugh, late with Jim Harbaugh, but a veteran team that's been through some highs and been through some very difficult, challenging moments 2 years ago against Georgia, last year against TCU. Just a vision to get to this point, and now both teams are here.
Huskies, by the way, have been through 3 head coaches and a dismal season a couple years ago. These 5th and 6th year seniors have some scars, but they're proud of that. That's what helped get them here. Jim Harbaugh, of course, suspended 3 games early, suspended 3 games late. His staff and his team rallied around them. Didn't seem to miss a beat when he wasn't there. Harbaugh this week seems strangely loose and relaxed. He has a lot of belief in his team, that's for sure.
I think he has a lot of belief here because of the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, 26-1 as a starter. A lot of us talk about how he has that it factor. You hear analysts and fans talking about a quarterback who just seems to find ways to win. That sums up J.J. McCarthy. His arm obviously has great talent. His legs are always dangerous. And Washington's defense is vulnerable at times against the run. They've got to be very, very careful not loading up against the run because number 9 in that passing game off play action could kill him.
Speaking of the passing game, Kalen DeBoer's quarterback Michael Penix Jr. has been electric. They don't believe Michigan's seen anything like what they'll bring. DeBoer, just the 2 losses in 2 amazing years at Washington, really salvaging a wreckage that he inherited there. It's been remarkable. It's a very, very close-knit staff that's been with him and a bunch of veteran players who really do love each other, and they take the cue from that guy.
Yeah, and again, much like Jim Harbaugh has J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, by the way, what a show he put on against Texas with the accuracy downfield. And that's the challenge in this game for Michigan's secondary. They have some talent on the back end, but honestly, it's going to come down to whether or not they can pressure Michael Penix. They did such a good job a week ago in the Rose Bowl against Jalen Milroe. Different kind of game. Penix is more throwing darts, more accurate, has the best group of wide receivers in college football, and he knows how to utilize all of them. So if you pay attention to one, another one's going to hurt you. Can Michigan pressure is the key to the game. Yeah,
Penix off one of the great postseason performances we've ever seen, 430 yards. All the receivers are healthy, perfect indoor conditions. McCarthy comes off the most clutch performance by far in his career, driving Michigan down the field, getting into overtime.
And much like that game we talked about in the open, his legs are going to be a factor, whether it's third down or the red zone. Michigan does a really good job of finding ways to take advantage of that athletic ability that he has.
Can't wait. The 2 semifinals for Classics. Hopeful we'll get another one tonight here in Houston. Here's the trophy they're playing for. Kickoff is up next. But first, see how AT&T made history this season by leveling the playing field with the new AT&T 5G helmet. And welcome back inside Houston. The Huskies and the Wolverines about to collide. This is the AT&T pregame showcase. Now to the PA announcer, John Magrino.
Tonight, our nation's colors are presented by the Joint Armed Forces Color Guard from the Military District of Washington, including members of the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard. And now, to perform our national anthem, joined by American Sign Language performer William Stokes, a 12th grade student from Houston's Region 4 Regional Day School Program for the Deaf. Please welcome Grammy Award-winning superstar and lead actress in Warner Brothers' The Color Purple, Fantasia Barrino Taylor.
Can you see by the dawn's early light, which so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the Rockies like the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless you all.
Michigan broke the Big Ten sportsmanship policy.
Suspension of Coach Jim Harbaugh.
No matter what happens, I have my brother's back. That's the equation, just brotherhood.
The noise we've been through, everything that we've done to get to this point, there's not a team in the country that can beat us.
Doubted by many all year.
We've embraced ourselves as kind of the underdog.
We got this mentality, us versus us. We prove ourselves over and over.
We truly love each other. Our head coach loves us.
Main goals and national championship. We're more locked in as ever.
No, we got one more to go.
We got one more to go. We are built for this.
This is the ultimate goal, the Natty.
Jim Harbaugh likes to inspire his teams with videos featuring predators. And he wants for this game his team to fight together and play like a hungry pack of wolves, which he calls the perfect fighting units. Michigan so dominant throughout the season, but had to respond when trailing in the second half for the first time against Alabama. Back-to-back Big Ten championships, as close as they've been in a quarter century. Washington, Pac-12 champions, underdogs for the fourth time in the last 5 games. Has any team ever won a title winning 4 upsets in the last 5? That's the way they like it. Michigan almost a touchdown favorite tonight. Not the traditional Wolverine uniform, Kirk, but the all blues that they wore to beat Ohio State and Iowa in the conference championship.
Absolutely. They believe in different looks, and this one is one of the favorites of the players. And here come the Huskies.
In the all whites.
Yep.
The last 10, their 21 straight wins by 10 points or less. That's incredible. Doubt them if you want, but there's no team this season that has a more proven pedigree in crunch time, when things are tight, when it comes down to the last possession. Here's Rome Odunze, their brilliant wide receiver. Penix has triplets talented wide receivers who will play in the league that Harbaugh's defense will have to contend with tonight. Everything he's been through, Michael Penix says, namely 4 season-ending injuries in Indiana, got him ready for this moment. He is resilience embodied. J.J. McCarthy, Harbaugh calls him the best quarterback ever at Michigan. They've had some good ones.
Yeah, number
Harbaugh
10,
included.
Number 10, number 4, and number 10. Pretty good.
Blake Corum, the man who just willed Michigan into the offense. They rode his back into the end zone. The decisive touchdown.
It's great energy in here, man. Sometimes you get to a national championship, you wonder what the scene will look like in a neutral site. These fans have traveled quite a bit, and we have an awesome scene in here.
I would say crowd edge, maize and blue. They have purchased most of the neutral tickets. Each school got 20,000. Captains for the coin toss. Corum on the right. You see man on the crutches there is Rayshon Benny, the defensive tackle, who was injured in that Rose Bowl victory. Very nice. They're making him one of the honorary captains tonight.
There's Steve Hippman of the '91 national championship team.
He beat Michigan, by the way, in the Rose Bowl by 20 points to earn Washington's most recent championship. Marcus Woods in charge of this ACC crew tonight will take us through the coin toss.
All right, congratulations, Captain, on a fantastic season, and welcome to the College Football Playoff National Championship. My name is Marcus Woods, this is Danny Worrell, and we are here representing the Atlantic Coast Conference. Today's coin, 2024 will be heads. NRG Stadium will be tails. Washington, you will call the flip. What's your call? Tails. Tails. Tails is a call. It's tails, you won the toss. You're going to defer, you want the ball, which way you want to kick? All right, move your backs there. You guys move down there. Washington has won the toss and elected to defer their choice in the second half. Michigan will receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
So we'll see J.J. McCarthy and the Wolverines offense first. Great to have both Holly Rowe on the Michigan sidelines, Molly McGrath on the Washington sidelines. Molly's got Kalen DeBoer.
Coach, your running back, Dylan Johnson, so important to this offense. What has he said to you about the pain he's in and how effective he can be tonight?
Yeah, he's ready to go. Felt really good in warm-up, and so we feel good about him. He's been through this many times. Expect him to get out there, compete, and play his best game this season.
All right, thank you, Coach. Holly.
Coach Harbaugh, your team has believed for the last year that they'd be back on this stage. Why do you believe they can win it all now?
They're going to do them. You know, do you. Give it your very best. Play to the best of your God-given ability. I trust our guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Dylan Johnson's report is crucial. He's a 1,000-yard rusher, aggravated a foot injury in the last play for the Huskies against Texas. We hope he can hold up tonight. Great when both teams are full strength. Gross to boot it away. Clutch kicker who was awarded a scholarship after kicking a game winner against Washington State in the locker room. Jamaj Morgan is back deep for the Wolverines at the goal line. Championship Monday, welcome to it.
Ohio State and Notre Dame. Say the names and you speak volumes about values and the rich mythology of college football.
It's bigger than us. It's two programs that are built on toughness and faith, an unwavering desire to be the best.
You just feel the history.
Two traditions venerated and proud, embodied by these young men who compete for a crown and a foothold in forever.
You know you gotta help me.
The grainy textures of memory and the vivid colors of the present day will share this stage.
If you take it to them, hell, there's no question who will win.
Give everything you got in your heart to this place.
Today, we're gonna win. Fight, 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 fight.
You fight for everything you believe in. Each other, this program, we fight tonight.
See these teams and sense the presence of the past.
And there goes Griffin, what a player.
When players became heroes.
Throws out of the touchdown.
Coaches, icons, and moments, the stuff of legend.
The Buckeyes win. And now the party begins.
With all these things that I've done.
You come here to a place like Ohio State to cement your legacy.
I know fans across the country have been waiting for this opportunity, some of them their entire lives.
One man to beat, he's gone.
Goes back generations.
This is about as good as it gets.
And you're playing, continuing their legacy.
The best way to do that is to win a national championship.
Ohio State and Notre Dame. Say the names. And you've said it all.
The names do say so much. Two programs with global fan bases. But even if you're neutral or just casual, Ohio State and Notre Dame together with a football field with a national championship trophy in the building is special and something to be savored. Welcome to Atlanta and the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. This is the AT&T pregame showcase as the buzz inside this great building begins to really build. Penn State got a stern test to Notre Dame in the semifinals. Irish were behind all night. Christian Gray's late interception. Mitch Jeter's clutch field goal. And they survived by 3 in Miami. Next night, Ohio State got a test from Texas in Dallas. It was a goal line stand. They've been known for it all year. A big stop and then a play that will live in Ohio State history. Jack Sawyer, sack, strip, scoop, and score from 82 yards away, and the Buckeyes booked their ticket to the championship game. They made it through the longest postseason in the history of this sport, each winning 3 games, and now one more chance to finish and complete a dream. And welcome to Atlanta. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Our pleasure to be here. Not just another.
Please welcome tonight's honorary captains for Notre Dame, Jerome Bettis, and for Ohio State, Archie Griffin, alongside team captains for both teams. Also joining us for tonight's coin toss, on the day in which the country annually pays tribute to the late Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., please welcome the youngest daughter of Dr. Martin and Mrs. Coretta Scott King and the CEO of the Martin Luther King Jr. Center for Nonviolent Social Change, Dr. Bernice A. King. Please
Welcome to the
tonight-
College Football Playoff National Championship. Congratulations to both teams on your excellent seasons. I'm Steve Marlowe. I'll be your referee. Brent Soule will be your umpire, and we're from the Southeastern Conference. The coin today, heads, will be the CFP logo. Tails will be the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Ohio State, you will call the toss.
Tails.
What did he call?
Tails.
He called tails. If I dropped it, we do it again. And it is tails. So you won the toss. You can defer. You want to receive. Which way do you want to go? Put your back to that goal line. Ohio State won the toss and elects to defer. Notre Dame will receive to start the first half.
Great to have both Holly Rowe and Molly McGrath with us on the field. Molly's on the Fighting Irish side with Marcus Freeman.
Coach, you always tell your team to be the aggressor and attack. When will you know that the aggression is there tonight?
We got to start when the foot hits the ball. I just told him in the locker room, I said, Vegas got half of it right. I said, we're not underdogs, but we're some dogs. And real dogs hunt, so it's time to go.
All right, thanks. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
And Notre Dame's leading rusher, Jeremiah Love, has been playing through a right knee injury. He told us this is the healthiest he's felt all postseason. He now trusts that knee when he's cutting and changing direction, and said in order to have success tonight, he'll have to run hard, break a few tackles, and he may even hurdle a defender or two. Now let's go to Holly.
Well, here with Coach Day, and Coach, you've asked your players all week to finish the mission. What will be required to do that tonight?
Start fast. It's going to be a fight. We got to come out swinging and swing for 60 minutes. We start on defense here. Got to stop. Third downs are like gold in this game, so we got to start this thing the right way.
Thank you, Coach. And for JT Tuimoloau, he is the most important edge rusher for Ohio State. He had an ankle injury coming into the last game. I watched his warm-ups. He looked ferocious, coming off the edge with speed and suddenness. Good luck to the new left tackle for Notre Dame tonight.
Both offensive lines will have their hands full. Jaden Fielding to boot it away for the Buckeyes. Jaden Harrison, who returned to kickoff 98 yards in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia, waits at the goal line.
Every journey asks for more than it offers. Only a few are willing to give it. Tonight, two teams arrive at college football's most meaningful stage, where history waits opposite possibility, and a champion will stand alone.
When the U is on and the U brings it, there's nothing like it. And we got to get there, and it's going to take everybody.
There is no reason why we can't be a source of pride to the entire state of Indiana.
Both teams traveled different roads to reach this moment. One rebuilt its name.
More than ever, it's about the work, and it's time to go to work.
The other redefined it.
We're going to change the mindset of Indiana Hoosier football.
The U is back and looking to add to their legacy.
They are certainly the champions.
An undefeated Indiana building theirs right before us. Outsiders who fought to belong, unknowns now undeniable.
What makes college football so good?
Surrounds out there, touchdown Hoosiers!
That's Mario Cristobal football right there. That's what they pride themselves in. Indiana, they don't have a lot of 5 stars. You know what they got? They got a team.
Still working, takes off running, Clemson back with his legs!
The biggest and brightest stage awaits. Welcome to Miami and the College Football Playoff National Championship presented by AT&T. This is the AT&T pregame showcase. Well, fresh faces have forged unlikely paths here. A surprising championship matchup. The Indiana Hoosiers on the brink of history, the school's first national championship and a perfect season. A stunning transformation after a century of futility. The Miami Hurricanes championship legacy has laid dormant for about a quarter century. The Canes, outnumbered in their own house tonight, try to continue a rugged path, much more rugged than the other Canes championship teams, including a win against Ole Miss. After beating A&M and Ohio State, Carson Beck engineered a thrilling game-winning drive. They survived a Hail Mary, and they come home after traveling more than 8,000 miles to get here. Indiana got a first-round bye. They laid waste to Alabama and Oregon, winning their 2 playoff games by 35 and 34 points. Fernando Mendoza has been almost flawless in those 2 victories. So here they are, a Hoosier team that was 100-1 to win this championship at the beginning of the season, and a Miami team that was 100-1 on Selection Sunday, sitting there with 2 losses. Very few thought this matchup was possible. But it certainly is a lot of fun now that we're here. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, pleased to once again bring you the ultimate game in the sport. Both these programs used the modern tools to build rosters and did what very few thought they could do to get here.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to August and you think about all the teams, everybody's trying to think, who's going to get to Miami? There were a lot of big brands, a lot of blue bloods. Not a lot of people thought Indiana and Miami would be here, but here we are. Both teams are playing their best football, which to me makes it great to have this matchup here tonight.
Kurt Cignetti has become an icon to sports fans. He was coming from James Madison, 60-something higher. Unbelievable job getting to the playoff last year. Next level this year with the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, I think you could say safely that this is the best turnaround job we've seen in the history of college football. Last year into the playoff in year 1, and now this year to the national championship. And think about where Indiana football's been over the decades. And to be able to do it that quickly, I think says everything about the culture he's created, the ability to develop players. And, of course, he found a quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, who's helped him immensely this year.
Mendoza came from Cal in the portal. He was an emphatic winner of the Heisman Trophy. He won all the regions. Indiana's first Heisman winner, of course. Some Heisman guys don't handle it all that well. He's been almost flawless in the 2 games since then.
Yeah, I think that's really the thing that stands out, and it tells you a lot about his mindset and approach. He doesn't let the outside world affect him. The Heisman Trophy, the history of guys that haven't played well in the postseason, doesn't even think about it. He's all about deflecting all that individual attention, all about his team, and because of the way he handles himself, I think it really it represents how this team plays for each other.
So many family plot lines. There's Fernando's father, Fernando IV, his mom Elsa, younger brother Max. Fernando IV played high school football with Mario Cristobal on the offensive line, and the family's home was about 2 miles from the Coral Gables campus of the Canes. This was his childhood team, but a team that did not recruit him coming out of Christopher Columbus High School, and a team that he desperately wants to be, I promise you.
Yeah, and you know what, I think you think about his dad and Mario Cristobal, you can see they played high school football together. It's a tight-knit community when it comes to football. The fact that these guys played with each other is remarkable.
Cristobal comes back to his alma mater. He won 2 championships as a player. He inherited a really tough rebuilding job. And Kirk, I think he has grown so much as a coach, even in the last few months.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is so, you look at him, you think about offensive linemen, right? He played offensive line, he coaches offensive line. But I think bigger, in his 4th year, he's been able to really create a program that is worthy of being here. Went out and got Carson Beck from Georgia. Carson Beck has a newfound love for this sport and the way he's able to carry himself. Made some big plays, as you mentioned, Chris, against Ole Miss, got his team into this national championship, has been very loose this week. We've been around him, really feels confident in what he can do. I don't think he's trying to compare himself to Mendoza. He loves his teammates, much like Mendoza does. That's where his focus has been, and I think, you know, tonight he's going to have to play a clean game. If Miami wins, the defensive line asserts itself on Mendoza, and of course, Carson Beck's going to have to play a game where he's the difference maker.
Did you say 2 confident teams and coaches? We talked to both of them. They both believe they can impose their will on the other side tonight. Public address announcer John McGreener to get festivities started tonight. Cool, crisp night in Miami. The ultimate game awaits. Kickoff from Miami coming up. But now let's see how AT&T is keeping us all connected for tonight's football game. been rainy this week. Thankfully, the rain has cleared out. Kirk, 60 degrees. Interesting makeup of this crowd. Indiana has the edge. Is it 60-40 in Clemson over the home team?
It feels like that. It really does. I mean, that was a big thing. A lot of us wondered, with it being here at Miami's home stadium.
It was 95-5 against Oregon and Atlanta.
Yeah. With the demand that Indiana would bring, how many would they get in here?
Hurricanes,
these guys are ready.
Lower seed, wearing their road uniforms. They'll be on the opposite side, not their normal bench in Hard Rock, but they do come out of their normal home team locker room here, packed in tight, Kirk.
Absolutely. Indiana is supposed to go first. They are not loaded and ready yet. Maybe some final messages from Curt Cignetti. Now they're ready to go.
Here come the Hoosiers. Much has been made of the fact they're not stocked with 5 stars, but this is a very experienced team. The average age is pretty close to the average age of a lot of NFL teams.
Veteran group.
24.
They come in on fire, as you said in the open, playing by far their 2 best games that they've had all year on the biggest stages they've played on.
2 very different coaching personalities who each were part of Nick Saban's staffs at Alabama. Each was the recruiting coordinator for Saban. It did not overlap, however. (1894), Kirk, the last time a team went 16-0. The Hoosiers have a chance to have one of the great seasons we've ever seen. Cignetti, all business as you'd expect. Here come the Canes. Looking for a 6th national championship under a 5th different head coach. But these players basically weren't alive the last time Miami won one, 2001. Both sides feeling deep emotions, just trying to keep it in check and do their jobs tonight. But there's going to be tears flowing after this, no matter who wins. A lot of them.
See the faith of both these quarterbacks, how important that is. Just trying to get in the right mindset. In fact, both teams.
So much of the game plan, confuse and abuse, as the Indiana defensive coordinator Brian Haynes says. They're in the spotlight for a reason and affecting Mendoza and Beck. Which side can do that best might decide the outcome.
Big part of the result of the game is getting your quarterback to just settle in.
It's Malachi Toney, the electric true freshman for the Canes. Back to John Magrino. The public address announcer will take us through this coin toss. Michael Vanderbilt, the Big 12, is in charge.
For
the
Miami,
Hurricanes.
Michael Irvin. And for Indiana, Adewale Ogunleye, as well as team captains for both teams.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves, fellas. Captains, congratulations on earning the opportunity to compete in the 2026 College Football Playoff National Championship. My name is Michael Vandervelde. I'm your referee. My umpire is the Sheldon Davis. Honorary captains, thanks for being here as well. Miami, you get to call the toss. Today's coin features the logo of the College Football Playoff as heads. Hard Rock Stadium is tails. Heads, tails. Miami, what is your call?
Tails.
Tails? Tails is called. It is a head. Indiana, you won the toss. Defer, you want the ball. Which way are you kicking? Gentlemen, go ahead and turn your backs here. Indiana, won the toss, deferred their choice to the second half. Miami will receive in this end zone. Gentlemen, have a great ball game.
Great to have Monty McGrath and Holly Rowe on the sidelines. Holly is with Kurt Cignetti.
Well, Coach Cignetti is still busy coaching right this second, Chris. Coach, you're going to defer to the second half. You're giving instructions right now. What is the most important thing your line of scrimmage can do to protect your quarterback so we can operate tonight?
Give him time to make his first read and get the ball to number 2 or check down. You know, we've got to, but we got to be balanced on offense. If we can get, you know, which we've been able to do all year long. So they're good. They're going to make their share of plays. We just got to make one more.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Imagine growing up going to games here in this stadium your whole life, painting your face orange and green, and then playing against your beloved Miami Hurricanes. That's Fernando Mendoza's job tonight. He said, I would be selfish if I make this game about me and my hometown. He won't do it. He's going to focus on his teammates. Now let's check in with Molly and Mario Cristobal.
Thank you, Holly. Coach, you came back to Miami for moments like this. How will you and your team manage your emotions tonight?
At the end of the day, take all those emotions and give it a direction, make it a one-and-oh mentality for every single play.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck. And depth is a serious concern for Miami, and there will you and your team manage your emotions?
Selfish. Imagine growing up going to games here in this stadium your whole life, painting your face orange and green, and then playing against your beloved Miami Hurricanes. That's Fernando Mendoza's job tonight. He said, I would be selfish if I make this game about me and my hometown. He won't do it. He's going to focus on his teammates. Now let's check in with Molly and Mario Cristobal.
Thank you, Holly. Coach, you came back to Miami for moments like this. How will you and your team manage your emotions tonight?
At the end of the day, take all those emotions and give it a direction, make it a one-and-oh mentality for every single play.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck. And depth is a serious concern for Miami in their secondary. Xavier Lucas, their starting corner, is going to miss the first half of the targeting suspension. O.J. Frederic will play, but he was limited in practice with a leg injury. So true freshman Jabari Antoine will play a key role at the corner position for the Canes tonight. Chris, Kirk?
They had to grow up quickly against Ole Miss. Some inexperienced guys pressed into duty as the Canes outlasted the Rebels. Here we go. The championship matchup very few could have foreseen. The Hoosiers trying to get to 16-0. The Canes trying to win a 6th national championship. We'll see it back in the Canes offense. Brendan Frankie, who's been injured, returns. He's got a huge leg. This is unlikely to be returned by Keelan Marion. Frankie would attempt any long-distance field goals that Cignetti elects to try tonight. Well, check that. He boots it to the 1-yard line and a chance for a return.